Hi, I'm Brett. Today we're going to talk about the effects and benefits of modifying intercoolers on your Ford Focus RS. And we're talking about the 2.2, 2.3 litre engine, depending on how you want to measure it, turbo four-wheel drive model. And here we are in 2018, and we're doing more R&D testing on our project cars to find out what works and what doesn't. And to my right, or your left, or my left, your right, is original factory front mount intercooler. And if you're wondering what this blanking plate is, make sure you check out my other video where I explain why Ford restrict the performance of the original factory front mount intercooler. And to my left here is the replacement high performance Mountune front mount intercooler. So let's just have a look at the differences between the two, and then we can explain what the potential benefits are. And as you can see immediately, if you look down from the top, the original factory one is this size. The Mountune one, which is a very well manufactured part, I must say, is immediately thicker. So the air going through the core is designed to cool the hot internal air that's coming from the turbocharger into the engine, because inside air is hot air and you've got cooler air, and that, as the air flows through it like a radiator, reduces the temperature and drops the temperature as it comes in hot and it leaves cold. So of course, the thicker the core, the more available surface area you've got to get rid of the heat. However, what you've got to remember is the design of the core. So this is a bar and plate core, and you'll see the design of the fins here, which is the tubes that the air travels through, and this is the part that the air passes through when you're driving down the road. Inside these tubes are more little fins that increase the surface area to get rid of the heat. But on the Ford one, very similar design, but you'll notice the fins and the tubes are a little bit different and spaced differently. So let's just talk about how an intercooler works. So when the air comes in, the turbocharger compresses it, it gets hot, it comes through here. So this is the hottest part, and as it travels across through the core, it gets cooler and cooler. So what you actually have is the hot side here, the cold side there. But there's a balance of intercooler efficiency, and that's called pressure drop, because you want as much surface area to get rid of the heat as the hot air passes over those surfaces, but at the same time the increase in surface area makes it more restrictive for the high pressure air, as in boost, to go from this side to the other. So if you've got an intercooler that has got a lot of surface area and a lot of restriction, you could effectively have 20 psi going in on the hot side, and you may only get 10 psi coming out on the cold side, which is effectively what the pressure drop is. You're going to lose 10 psi of boost. So what the manufacturers do is a similar thing. They've got to have a balance between the efficiency of the intercooler to get rid of heat versus the efficiency of the intercooler to pass the same amount of pressurized air without too much pressure drop. But what you've also got to remember, as the intercooler physically gets thicker and thicker, the cold air traveling through the front of it, as in the road speed air when you're driving down the road, is cold at the front, but as it travels through, it takes more heat with it, and it gets hotter and hotter at the back. So a really thick intercooler, whilst it looks really, really good, it's not as efficient as the back as what it is at the front, because the difference in temperature is what gets rid of the heat. So if you've got, say, a 20-degree temperature of the air coming through the front of the intercooler, and you've got 40 degrees inside, the difference of the ability to get rid of the heat on the difference of the two is a lot more substantial, whereas at the back, of course, the difference is not the same. So don't always fall into the trap of thinking thicker or bigger is better. But one of the things that I did notice on the Mountune one is you'll notice Ford use a lot of ABS plastic parts. Doesn't mean it's bad, it's just a different design. Mountune use a lot of cast alloy parts. The kit that they supply comes with replacement hose, and what I've got here is the original factory Ford plastic pressure pipe coming off the turbo, which then actually fits here. But what you can see here is the replacement kit from Mountune. If I get my cameraman, you can see underneath here where it's a silicon pipe connected to a fabricated stainless steel pipe, which then goes back up into the intercooler, and it is an incredibly well-made kit, and I'm very impressed with the way it fits. And of course, on the cold side, the end of the Mountune kit goes through this side here and then fits with the replacement silicon pipe up inside to the engine. Now, one thing you'll also ask is, well, what was this part sitting here? And we'll come over this side and I'll just show you. That's actually the map sensor. That's the pressure sensor that fits in the original factory part there, because that hole goes down inside the pipe, and that, through that port there, measures the pressure of the air on the outbound side of the intercooler, because remember, this is the real pressure that goes into the engine. We've got boosted that side, pressure drop across through here. the real boost that goes into the engine, which is what the engine will see. And that kit, basically you take that part off, put it back in the Mountune once, put the bolt back in place, and it bolts back in place. So these are some of the things that we're testing. As I said earlier, make sure you check out my other video about whether you really do or don't need a replacement front mount intercooler, because Ford restrict the factory intercooler. Check out the dangers of just having too good an intercooler, which can cause water buildup inside your intercooler. Yeah, it's a bit unusual, but check out this other video and you'll find it very interesting. But of course, on this particular model, we've got the ability here to do custom tuning on the ST and the RS model. Fantastic car, fantastic ECU using the race ROM technology. And of course, no matter where you are in the world, we'd love to hear from you, and we can do custom remote tunes of a growing list of cars around Australia with our partner network. Make sure you contact them or contact us for individual customized tunes, individually tuned on your car at your local workshop near where you live. But for now, my name is Brett Middleton. Make sure you subscribe and make a comment and share the video around. We'd love to hear from you, and I hope it's helped you. But for now, thanks for watching.